Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Okay.
I'm glad that the number of humans here is greater than the number of note takers, like AI note. When I joined the call, it was just me and bunch of note takers.
Oh, humans. Thank all you humans to joining. I know that a lot of us are PTO this week, might be live today. So for everyone that is here, thank you for joining. And I know that some of you actually joined on PTO, so I appreciate even more. Okay, great. Yeah, as usual, just wait another minute just to leave some room for folks to join, and then we're gonna get started. Okay. Yeah, just another minute or so, just waiting for some specific folks. Okay. All right, I think we have quorum, so let's get started. Pete, do you mind to start recording for us?
Yep, that's all set up, ready to go.
All right. Okay.
Real quick,
Everyone, yeah. Go ahead, Pete. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, just real quick. Wanted to just go over a couple of quick things before we kick in, and I'll kick it back to you, and you can take over. Just a reminder, we do have a code of conduct for the llm-d community. You'll find links in the community meeting for that. If you're not yet in the Slack, please join, because that's where all the conversation is going. And if you do need help, we do have an @community team Slack group. It'll ping more than just me now, so we have some continuity to the system. You've probably received emails and seen in the Slack we are running an llm-d user survey. A link is available in the community notes. We're looking for feedback to help drive the roadmap of llm-d from the community. So all those responses are really helpful. And then lastly, I wanted to call out that we did finally get something I've been working on, a Google Apps account specific to llm-d, mainly Google Drive, that we can share by default, read only to everyone, and just manage the permissions in a lot easier way than when things are owned by essentially like Red Hat users, which had been the case for a lot of them. We weren't able to share them publicly very easily. So when files are now shared in that directory, they'll be read-only to everyone. The folders are browsable. Commenter access if you're a member of the llm-d contributor group, so feel free to join there. And then the project owners and the community, we have the ability to manage and can delegate access down to the SIG teams. We're sharing all the recordings within there now. The meeting notes, we're moving over there, previous recording transcripts. So that's going to be the place post-meeting to get any call artifacts, notes, and things like that. And then over time, our hope is to move really all the docs in here. North Star docs, any other project docs, and we'll make sure to get the various SIGs, all the access you need, so you can start creating documents and store them all in there. So if you do have any other questions or anything, like I said, just ping the community team and we can help you out. So that's all I've got today. I'll hand it back over to you, Carlos.
Great, thanks, Pete. Very good. So as usual, we're going to do open forum first, and then we go to SIG updates. So there are a bunch of topics that people already put on the open forum section. Excuse me. So we're going to start there. Maybe Sally, start with you. There is a proposal, so I think you want to do like a shout out to the proposal here. So please go ahead.
Well, thanks. Yeah. I'll just share my screen, but the link to the proposal is in the doc, and so yeah, this is what it looks like. It's a proposal to instrument the stack in the proposal just as simple as possible, so we get an end-to-end visibility with distributed tracing. You can read. I wanted to present it here just to get some eyes on it. I put it together, and my good friend Bana, he's an open telemetry maintainer. He's already reviewed it, and I'm talking to Pavel Lafe, who's also open telemetry maintainer. So to review it as well. But yeah, it goes through the stack and suggests where the tracing should happen. And I really wasn't going to be able to fully understand like the impact until I created a POC. And so I, over the past week, I went through each repository and added, if you go to Sally Ohm, all of the repositories, they're listed here. You can see I have like some working branches. They're all called tracing. Where are they? In the document, well, we know what they are, but I just want to be able to read them out. It's the KV Cache Manager, it's the Inference Scheduler, the Gateway API, and the routing sidecar. So when you instrument all of those, and of course VLLM, but I haven't added that yet. But when you instrument all of those, you get a trace that looks like this. I have it running in Minikube with the llm-d quick start. And so I also have like a working branch called tracing in the llm-d deployer that anyone can look at. And I have built a few images that are instrumented. If you want to try them out, they are public. So the Inference Scheduler includes the KV Cache Manager as well as the Gateway API Inference Extension instrumentation. So that one image, instruments 3 repositories, and then the routing sidecar. And yeah, so it's a pretty, it's pretty cool trace. Yeah. Any questions, or just look at the proposal and we can move forward or not.
Yeah, thanks, Ali. Of course, this is something like super useful, I think, in many ways. One question I have: do you think that this should be under the kind of broad observability SIG? And I just want to make sure that you bring folks the right place to give you more feedback. Of course, I welcome everyone to, of course, look at the PR and also share feedback. But I think this is very much aligned with some of the observability discussion that we had last
Definitely.
week. Right, and something that is coming from like different parts of this community. So if it makes sense, maybe we can do like a deeper dive in one of the SIG observability. I don't know if we actually have a meeting for that yet, but maybe we can follow up.
No problem. Yeah, I wanted to get some eyes on it, and I wasn't aware that there was a SIG observability. I'm working on a few different things, so yeah. So if there is a SIG observability, I will definitely join that and share this there.
Okay, very good. Yeah. Any question from anyone before we move on? Yeah.
Go ahead. I wanted to say one more thing too. Was there a question?
Doesn't look like. Go ahead, Sally.
No. Oh, okay. Yeah, this can be enabled to only propagate like the context, so that even if you don't want the overhead of tracing, you can still, if you have an application that's calling into llm-d and that's instrumented and, agent to agent or whatever, you still propagate the context if there is one through llm-d. So that's one thing, because there is overhead. And so if we do move forward with this, we would want to then talk to the benchmarking team and compare like when it's turned on, when it's not instrumented at all, and when it's disabled. You see the difference.
Very good. There are a lot of connections, so maybe you can follow up in the SIG. But thanks a lot, Sally, for
Thank you.
Out here. Great. Greg, on the release process, do you want to talk a bit?
Yeah, sure. I've dropped up a PR with a little bit of an opinionated stance on it. Basically, the goal is to reduce toil and kind of just come up with like a list of the components that we're releasing, the versions, and link to some builds. We can automate this in CI as we go later, but basically the idea is we would build this kind of YAML release file saying like what version of the chart we want, what's the expected release date, and then all the components we're going to be releasing and the version bumps since the last release. And then it's just some Python code that will format this into a Jinja template, and it will produce, you know, something like this, which will become the body of the actual release notes. So again, this is just meant to like help reduce toil. For instance, like there was no version bump in the VLLM llm-d image, and so you would still need to go find like, you know, the current version and the CI checks for that build. So this is just meant to like kind of get rid of some of the steps, but there may still need to be some manual steps for now. But again, it's an iterative process, so I thought something is better than nothing. Let me know if you have any thoughts.
Great. Comments, questions?
Hey, Greg, Shri here. So I noticed that obviously model service is still in there, you know, as one of the components. I'm wondering how best we can transition to the Helm chart. Maybe we should update the quick start first so that we remove the dependency from, you know, on the quick start side, and then we can remove it in this deployer.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan. I think the best goal is to move it to a dependency of this main chart, and we would get rid of it as a component of this one, kind of just as you were talking about. So we can definitely take a look at that coming up.
Okay, sounds good. Moving on, so we keep on track. So this is a big one. It's more like a shout out, high level here, but it is time for a new release. So we're all kind of excited about that. It's been a while since came out with 0.1, now is at 0.2, right? So there'll be, of course, highlights around like what we learned, what we solved, right? And what we're doing next. Of course, PD will be very central in terms of, again, making this work. And I think the overall message is really like, I'll keep going back to like, well, it paths, we all love it, that idea. So it's basically going back to like, these are the paths that being lead and they're getting better around the message. This is real. So what it means really is that we have this kind of comms around this, starting of course with the release note, very detailed. This is being formed, so we also share with the community ahead of time, so you guys can take a look. There was a suggestion to do this more like in the cube format, which I like. So I think Jeremy also shared the link. You guys can take a look and share feedback in terms of the format. And of course, there'll be a new blog, but we also have an idea of putting together some tutorial videos, just more like on, I don't know, the training side, so folks can get a better idea how to do things, reproduce some of the scenarios and so on. And we all know that this typically go a long way. So more like a heads up here in the community that this is coming. Target is mid-July, and we are kind of converging across the project leads. What are the things that are put in there? And again, we keep the whole community up to date on this one. I don't know if anyone wants to comment on the release, ask questions or requests or anything like that before we move to the next topic. Okay.
So we're going to have, we know what we basically know what's in the 0.2. We know what most of it, so we can essentially scaffold out the release blog now.
Yes.
And then make tweaks right before we publish it. Do you want to publish it along with the release whenever that? I think it's July 17th, but like, you know.
So my suggestion, Rob, Clayton, feel free to chime in here as well. We do have a draft of what we want to have in the release note. We can share this ahead of time for feedback, and we can iterate from there. Anyone has a hands up?
I just had a question. Are we calling this 0.2 or 1.1? Because I thought we were considering our first release to be 1.0.
Good question. Up for debate. We've been talking about like 0.2, but if it makes more sense given like how we started, I'm open to do like 1.2 as well.
The question, I think the question is, have we added functionality? If so, it should probably be 0.2.
Yeah.
1.1 will be a fixed release, fixed release or something. If we follow similar, quote unquote, properly. We probably don't anyways, but you know, try.
Okay. Good points. Nir, you had your hand up.
Yeah, not very critical. I just wanted to say that usually 1.0 is like production ready version. So if we think this release is production ready, then yeah, let's go for it. But if it's still like tech preview and under development, I'm not sure that we should go this path.
Was it, wait, it was 1.0 or was it 0.1.0?
So this would be 0.0. No, I'm sorry, 0.2, right?
Okay.
Maroon?
Sorry if I missed it, but is the base for the release the roadmap issue Rob opened in the llm-d repo? The roadmap for July? Or is that something else?
The roadmap through July is like the list of items that we're working on. Like for the July 17th release, like not every single one of those items is all the way complete. So we're going to do a check stop with the things that we currently have. I'm planning to post like I have a Google Doc of the items that will be included in the 0.2, and I'm going to be working on making like a tracking. I think we decided to use a GitHub milestone to just publicly sort of say this. So all of the pieces in the release are aligned to roadmap items, of course, because that's what we've been working on. But not every item that I wanted. That roadmap was sort of the first quarter. We're going to do a check stop with the accomplishments we've had so far ahead of the on that July 17th item.
Great. Thanks, Rob. Yeah, just moving to next one. So a bit behind here. I put this topic on llm-d meetup. Keep getting like asked about this. Just want to kind of probe the community, how you guys feel about it. This would be probably like something after summer, but we keep being asked. So I was just curious to see how people feel about it, to organize something like this. And I think that, as usual, go a long way. And this community just get people together. So if you have ideas for this, feel free to chime in here or on Slack. That's something that you're considering. Here?
Just an idea. Let me know if it makes sense. Maybe we can use the same week of KubeCon, where many people submitted talks and are planning to be on the same place. Maybe we can arrange some meetup around the same days, maybe the day after, the day before, around the same place. I don't know if it makes sense.
Maybe that's a good idea, Carlos. We should see maybe how it can come together. But it's only when November, something like November.
Yeah. We can play by ear. Let's see how like others. I mean, if you keep
There's also PyTorch on October, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Good ideas. Let's think about this. Maybe we can start a thread on Slack and kind of follow up. A lot of the KubeCon idea, I just think probably is like too late, but we can consider it. Okay. Ashok, you have a topic on code owners for individual repos?
Yeah. So we have code owners on some of the repos, but they are either not up to date as folks like Clayton or Carlos, who might not have time to look at all the PRs. And we also don't have a way to auto-assign PRs. So we can have a better process around like revisiting the owners and making sure PRs that come in, we can reach out to someone and get those reviewed. This is mainly from like a recent PR I opened on the main llm-d repo, just trying to figure out who would be the right person to go to. Yeah, so just wanted to get some thoughts and what we can do to address that.
Yeah, that's a very good one. I think came up before. We need definitely to get better at this. Ashok, I have an idea. I'll start a thread on Slack, just again, how we do like, I don't know, hierarchical process, if you will. And I'll check if we have a clarity on the code owners for the individual repos. I know that some of them already have code owners, but let's double check. Okay, something that you follow up. Thanks for raising this. Okay, Abdullah. Yeah. Thanks. Abdullah?
Yeah, just quickly, I've noticed that because we moved from CRD to Helm charts and model servers, seems that like from the outside, there's some overlap between SIG model service and SIG installation.
Mm.
Just calling it out that this is important to align on the dependencies between the two. Just a quick one. I don't want to spend too much time. We can take it offline.
Okay. Thanks. Yeah, so let's do 10 minutes. Let's do the SIG updates round. We can keep this short as usual. So maybe we can start with a SIG installation with you, Brent. Don't see Brent on the call. Greg, I don't know if you want to cover this for Brent.
Yeah, I guess we spoke about these yesterday. Yeah, so there was a bug fix for the Istio charts that got merged. We are still currently working on moving to the upstream charts, as well as the piece that we talked about today with respect to migrating to the model service charts. So kind of just a lot in flux right now. I can confuse between this and the yesterday meeting.
Okay, yeah, this is for like the broader team. So it's basically what you shared yesterday.
Yeah. I think that's a fair summary for now.
Sounds good, Greg. Thanks. Vita or Neely on IFRS scheduler?
Yes, I can do it. Okay, so Shmuel integrated back the new configuration API back to llm-d scheduler. This means that there are no environment variables, or you don't need to touch any code to configure. Everything can be loaded from a file. So everything is now much cleaner. He also updated the documentation. I think that he has like a last PR to do tomorrow, and he's all done. There was a request for the VLM simulator roadmap, and we published it. So this is another thing that we did. Abdullah, or
Yeah, just quickly bring some attention to the revisiting some of the APIs that we have in GIE, if anybody is interested in the broader community. Mostly focused on enabling the mass use cases, better enabling the mass use cases, basically, how we express policies across tenants.
Okay, makes sense. Very good. Moving on, PD disaggregation, Tyler or Rob?
Yeah, so on the PD disag side, we've had some good progress with eliminating a lot of the Nixle launch overheads, which has been hurting the performance under heavy load. So we'll be focusing on a performance benchmark of this as part of the release, and some more holistic overviews of the PD performance. In addition, there's been quite a bit of progress on the EP-DP multi-node MOE side that's being driven by Tyler and a lot of the folks in the VLM community. So many of the key items on this have been landing and have been improving the performance quite a bit. So we'll also try to get a first benchmark of this as part of the release for July 17th. For this one, this will probably not be in like an optimal state for the release, so there'll still be some performance optimization that will be ongoing, but we're going to target having like a working implementation of this for the O.2.
Okay. Thanks, Rob. Yeah, so the KV disag, Clayton and Maroon, you guys have updates?
Get online.
Yeah, so one of the questions I had, we're trying to get our roadmap, as Carlos mentioned, for what comes after, like what's the next set of priorities. And so one of the questions I had asked in the SIG was to like set those top priorities, which is CPU cache offloading and the KV cache indexer, getting to the point where we're, minimal config, gives us precise prefix aware cache routing. And then we have two follow-on topics that we'll put lower in the priority ranking. So that was the roadmap side of it.
Yeah, so that's go ahead, sorry.
Go ahead, Maroon.
So that's a work in progress. We'll release a new doc soon, I think. I'll also update on implementation progress. So we still have the two open work streams, the implementation of VLM native KV cache offloading. 6 PRs are open. They can really use more attention in reviews because the 7th PR, which is the actual connector, is dependent on them. And the second work stream is the VLM native KV cache indexing. The last PR is in final stages before publication. We also discussed the standardization of relevant APIs across the VLM community, LM cache and llm-d, and an RFC will follow up in VLM soon. So I want to also find that out.
All right. Yeah, and just to emphasize again, we need help here. So yeah, more eyes are very welcome. Thanks, Maroon. All right, SIG out scaling. I think Abhishek is covering today.
Yeah, sure. So we presented the autoscaler API proposal to the community, received a lot of good feedback around it. What we are doing now is trying to move to the implementation phase based upon the feedback. In summary, what we are trying to do is we are trying to move, quote unquote, the legacy Inferno implementation to the design that was discussed with the community. So that's the progress that we are making.
Great, sounds good. Thank you. SIG model service. Shri, you have an update, right?
Yeah, sorry. So I think Jing and Michael who are on the call can also chime in. But so we do have, or we are close to having an initial version of the model service Helm charts in the incubation repo. Please check it out, try it out, and give comments and push PRs. And that brings us to the older model service operator CRD controller, which is really deprecated at this point. So it will be unsupported soon. We will just archive the repo. So we have some work to do in terms of fixing the quick start, fixing the installation chart like we discussed when Greg was presenting. And also, I'm sure it has implications for the benchmark scripts also, because that's relying on model service CRDs. That dependency has to be removed as well. So that's where we are at this point. And some of us, many of us who are pushing stuff to the Helm charts are going to be out on vacation next week, 10 days. So don't expect too much movement there, but this is the direction.
Okay, thanks, Shri. And last one, SIG benchmarking, Marcio.
Okay, it's been 2 weeks since our last meeting, so try to be real quick here. So one of our highest priorities was to have a CI/CD environment with real H100s. We already have that, 10 IBM Cloud. Due to these challenges that we're having right now with llm-d deployer, we still want to use llm-d deployer as the primary method of deployment. There has been several requests to separate it out the benchmark from the deployment. We are in the process of doing exactly that. The third thing is both IBM and Google noted the failures while testing different stacks under at scale under stress. We have a PR open on llm-d benchmark. We're still actively investigating what's happening there. And finally, we are continuing to collect new scenarios and new workloads. That's it.
Great. Thank you, Marcio. Yeah, so I think that's all. If there is any other burning question, feel free to chime in now. Always go
so
back.
let me schedule like an ad hoc meeting around the release because we don't have any good place to do that right now. I want to get it off the ground and bootstrapped. It's only about 2 weeks from today.
Yeah, Jeremy, there is some work happening there. So let's follow up offline, and then of course, I mean, happy to have you joining us for that discussion. But yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Thank you. Okay, just one quick reminder, there is no SIG scaling this afternoon. A bunch of scaling folks are on PTO, so skip this afternoon and resume next week. And again, as usual, Slack is there. Feel free to continue the discussion.
There is a SIG inference scheduler just after this meeting. It is going as planned. We have a quorum.
All right, so feel free to jump on the other one. Thank you so much, guys. I see you all next week. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.